Hello everyone and welcome to Season 2 Episode 1 of Timba's Roblox Ninja Warrior. I'm your host Meetum, better known as Timba. Today we will see the first half of our 100 contestants take on the qualifying course. The qualifiers are organized in 10 waves of 10 people, meaning that every 10 runs, the top 5 results of that wave will move on to the finals with 4 stages and a prize of 1,500 Robux awaits. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Our first competitor of the season, this is Argstashi, who I don't think he ran season 1. Then again, I have no idea who failed stage 1 in season 1. He's off onto the quintuple steps, on the 4th steps. I'm terrible at commentating, but that doesn't matter. He's very laggy, and he probably made it past the quintuple. Yeah, I can see the region. Now he's onto the triple rolling boulder. Made the jump to the second boulder quite nicely, taking his time, already about to hit 30 seconds as he's on the 3rd boulder. Now making the transition to the rope and onto the platform, to the 3rd obstacle, beam flipper. Moved a bit further away to, well, decrease the lag. Stashi's looking quite good on the beam flipper. Only a few more jumps to go. Into the last set of beams. And here comes the dismount, which he fails. Rest in peace, Argstashi. Up next, number 2 is Claire the Killer 13. I have no idea what device he's playing on. I tried to figure it out for most people. I couldn't figure it out for, well, half of the competitors pretty much. This is the 6 double steps, by the way. I said quintuple steps earlier. No, it's the 6 double steps, which Claire has already passed. He's now onto the triple rolling boulder, onto the 2nd boulder already. A lot quicker than Argstashi was before. He's looking pretty good. 3rd rope boulder, then again the hard obstacle fail. Rope and the dismount, now onto the beam flipper. I'm not expecting to see many fails before the beam flipper, to be honest. And he walks off. That's unfortunate for Claire the Killer 13. Next up is Corpse211234. Why do you put so many numbers in your name? He's onto the 6 double steps, just like Claire and Argstashi were before. Doing them quite nice, quite quick. Good work. Onto the 2nd obstacle, which is just behind the timer, but it's fine, he's standing, he's still standing. Now to the 2nd boulder. This is the most boring obstacle to commentate, by the way. Why did I make this? I'm already annoyed at it. Onto the 3rd boulder. He's moving this boulder very slowly. He's got the rope, finally. Onto the platform and the beam flipper once again. He's the 3rd person who's... I can't talk. He's the 3rd person we see on the beam flipper. Can he become the 1st person to beat it, though? He's onto the 3rd set, I believe. Or is it the 4th? I'm not even sure if there's 4 or 5 sets right now, but he's onto the last one, that's why I know. And he might be the 1st one to beat it. Onto the dismount, he does it. Corpse, and a lot of numbers. He is the 1st person to beat the beam flipper. And now onto the new obstacle we haven't seen yet, which is the ring toss. He makes the transition to the 3rd rung. Good work so far. Now in the upper angle set, he's struggling to get to the next rung. Not looking good, but he does it. Here comes the turnaround. Oh, and he fails. That was a bad strategy, and it came back to him. Lightning Bolt Gaming is the next competitor who we haven't seen in Season 1 either. Lightning Bolt Gaming, unfortunately, came crashing down on the beam flipper. After him, Strawberry ran, and Strawberry, however, was another victim to the beam flipper. Following Strawberry, DJ Dilly was our first mobile contestant, or at least the first mobile contestant that I know of. He has a jetpack, and looks like a pumpkin. Onto this 4th step of the 6 double steps. I'm really terrible at commentating, man. Back to the triple rolling boulder. What if I just stay silent every single time this obstacle comes up? DJ Dilly now onto the beam flipper. Taking his time, probably doesn't want to do mistakes onto the second set. Doing the transition to the third one very well. Now comes the stick out beam flipper jump, which he does as well. And onto the last set. Biggest jump does it. Now the dismount. And DJ Dilly is successful and our second competitor to attempt the ring toss. And just the first jump. And he fails, trying to align the ring for the third jump. Unfortunate. Number 10 is, how do you pronounce this? Leo Bojangles? He's taken a couple seconds before he starts, but he starts. But to finish the 6 double steps, I keep wanting to say quintuple steps, no, these are 6 double steps. Onto the triple rolling boulder. Why, cameraman? Who's filming this? I don't know, probably me. Another head behind the timer. We might see, it's a bit annoying, but it's fine. As long as you can see where his feet are, you know where he's going. And he's onto the beam flipper. Oh, that was close. He almost did not make the jump. And he fails right onto the next jump. Thus ending our first wave, and these are the 4 contestants moving on to the finals. Next up is Cheese VIP, who is a great hobbyist. I'm getting Discord notifications, but I'm gonna ignore them. Cheese VIP, taking a second to start, but it's fine. Going pretty fast on the quintuple steps. I think that's the fastest we've seen so far. Down to the triple rolling boulder. Just don't take as long as Claire earlier. Was it Claire? No, it was Corpse. Don't take as long as Corpse did earlier. The camera keeps filming too low. We're gonna ignore that, as well as the ping in the background. Cheese dismounts pretty good, pretty nicely. Onto the beam flipper. He's doing a strat that we haven't seen yet, but it seems to work out so far. It seems to work out pretty well, in fact. To the last set, just the big jump and the dismount, and Cheese is moving with a good pace up to this point. Into the ring toss, does the first jump with ease, does the second as well, and the third. Now into the second set of rungs, which he does as well, and he fails the first jump on the upwards angle. Next up is Foley_YT, who's on a mount for some reason. Get down here. He made it just as the timer started. Onto the quintuple steps now, which they're not that difficult, so he doesn't fail them obviously. Onto the most boring obstacle to ever exist. Onto the second, and he touches the railing then. Foley_YT is disqualified. Next up is Meg and Awesomeness. Number 14, Nest Ninja 5. Meg and Awesomeness onto the ring toss, and he fails the first jump. Nest Ninja 5 cannot make the first jump of the ring toss, unfortunate. Next up is Skillikill, number 15 on PC, most famously known for being last man standing of some Sasuke Star Ramen season, I don't know which one. And he's the host of Skill Sasuke. He's onto the triple rolling boulder, by the way. I didn't know what to say right there. Onto the second boulder. This is the second time I'm doing this commentary, because I already did it for this and like the next 10 runs or something, and then it crashed on me and I'd have to redo it now. So if it's awkward, that's because I feel like I've already said the things, even though I mean I did say that. No, Skillikill walks off. I should more focus on the runs. He struggled with the jump there and ended up walking off. Next up is GamerGod2019J, who's onto the quintuple steps, and we can barely see him. Now we can. He's taking his time, taking his sweet time, lots and lots of time. He finished the first obstacle, only took in 15 seconds, 16 I think, somewhere around there. Now to the triple rolling boulder, which isn't bad. The cameraman is though, and when I say cameraman I mean exotic because he filmed this in the next couple of runs, which I regret. I think you can see why I regret that, but we'll have to deal with it now. Gamer got 2019 J is onto the rope and he jumps off. That was interesting. And anyways, next up is Kolai, number 17. Kolai hasn't competed yet. He's probably known for some things, I just don't know what right now. But he's completed 6 double steps, quick and nice. I wish everyone could do them that quick. I really don't know what's that difficult about doing that like that. Like, why are people taking ages? Anyways, he's also going at a good pace on the triple rolling boulder, made on the rope and dismounted straight onto the beam flipper with a good pace up until here. A really good pace, in fact. He's slowing down on the beam flipper. This obstacle has taken out many competitors so far. He doesn't want to be the next victim. He's doing well though. Now to the 4th and final set. Here comes another big jump. Makes it. And the dismount. And we've got another person on the ring toss. Ring toss, ring toss, ring toss. We haven't seen anyone clear this obstacle so far. Maybe Kolai could be the first. Let's hope he can. He's taken his time, which is a good idea, considering everyone has failed this. Now going upwards. This part is a bit more difficult as we've seen more people fail it. But he made it, and this is the furthest point where we have seen anyone so far. He's taking his time preparing for the transition. This is not the easiest of jumps, it's not that difficult either, but it could be easier. But he makes it. Kolai is the best result up to until this point. Now has the last set ahead of him and he's doing very well. These are the hardest jump on the obstacle. But Kolai makes it and dismounts, and we have a first clear on the ring toss. Yeah, it's called ring toss. Now onto, what is this called again? It's a bouncing spider, thank you. Onto the bouncing spider, about to hit 2 minutes. This footage is very laggy. Kolai is doing well, it looks like. He's taking these jumps, not risking too much. May we be about to see our first clear. This is the second to last obstacle. And Kolai is looking very good. Now onto the trampoline. And he misses the jump. That is really unfortunate. Kolai, best result up until this point. Let's see how long it'll take us to get it clear. Next up is Brian the 12345, who has competed in Season 1 and made it to Stage 2 in fact. He has cleared the sound ladder and is the Grand Champion of Sasuke Dynamite Season 5, I think? Was it Season 5? It was called Summer of Hell. I think that's Season 5 of Sasuke Dynamite. Brian the 12345. I'm gonna refer to him as Brian because that name is way too long. Is now onto the beam flipper with just 30 seconds. Good speed. I don't think he can do the first 2 obstacles any faster though. It's a good speed and he's speed running the beam flipper. He took 10 seconds, about 12 seconds for the entire beam flipper, which is fast, really fast. Now to the ring toss. If he fails the first jump, that's what happens if you rush. I mean, it did work out for beam flip, but not ring toss. Next up is Akardus, who is now onto the 6 double steps. I don't know, I have no idea how many times I called these quintuple steps at this point, but it's the 6 double steps, which are not too difficult. And Akardus has passed them, is now onto the rolling boulder. Not the fastest strategy, but it works out. He doesn't fail. As long as he doesn't fail, it works out. The camera's in the water. The recording is terrible. But bear with me. We've only got 2 more runs of this. Maybe more. I don't know actually. Icarus overshoots the jump. That's unfortunate. Next up is the last competitor of the second wave. This is the Blazing Alchemist. And blazing here is through the first obstacle. Now onto the triple rolling boulder. I said earlier I wouldn't say anything when the subs came up, didn't I? Yeah, I did. The Blazing Alchemist is now onto the beam flipper, which he's taking his time. I'm starting to not know what to commentate here either. He's actually not taking that much time. Like, he's moving at decent speed. He's not moving at Brian's speed, but almost. He's quite fast. Now onto the ring toss. Ah, this again. Usually I just restart the recording and give them a safety net if this happens. It happened a couple of times at this point. There's one case where I just didn't. I just stopped the timer and here we keep going on the ring toss. Blazing Alchemist is taking his time on the ring toss, which for Collei that worked out. It's now onto the upwards part. Still looking stable. Very good run so far out of the Blazing Alchemist. I'm pretty sure this will be enough to move on already, but he obviously wants to go further. Why? Well, he doesn't know how far he has to get to move on at this point. But he's about to dismount the ring toss. I hope he doesn't fail this jump, which he doesn't, which means the Blazing Alchemist is the second person to make it to the bouncing spider, which he is going through with a decent pace. He's faster than Collei was. I don't know what else to say about this. He's jumping through the bouncing spider. Another jump and another jump. One more jump and another jump. Now it's onto the trampoline. This is where Collei failed, but the Blazing Alchemist makes it. And it's now into the swinging thingies. Cylinders. Sidewinders. Whatever. He's going around. Now onto the last, and he dismounts and onto the warp wall. He has 3 attempts on this. If he can make that, we'll see our first clay. He misses the first jump. 2 more attempts for the Blazing Alchemist. 2 minute 20. Will we see our first clay? Next up on the course is the Forgotten _ Spy number 21, start of the third wave, who is off onto the 6 tuple steps. One day I'll learn that these are 6 tuple steps, not quintuple steps, hopefully, onto the obstacle, which I'm not going to commentate again. And he dismounts onto the beam flipper. I'm tired, I don't know what to commentate, but I'm going to do it anyways. He's jumping through and he's failed, that's unfortunate. Next up is belly and some numbers. Yeah, something like that. He's going, he's already failed. Next one, Hugo Tass, or something like that. I've never seen him before. He's onto the 6 tuple steps. He's also failed. Can someone just clear these steps? Next up is, I'm just going to call him Luke, who will hopefully clear the 6 tuple steps for once. Which he does it. Incredible. Someone who doesn't fail the first obstacle, not used to it anymore. But he failed to jump onto the second rolling boulder. How does that work? Biotic _ soldiers is next. He's going at a slow but steady pace on the 6 tuple steps. Regency obstacle, now onto the rolling boulder, triple rolling boulder. I should rename this to the boring boulder. But he's making it the last boulder. She's done. Now onto the rope, dismount, perfect. Beam flipper. Beam flipper has already taken out a lot of competitors today. Especially this jump, but he does it, is onto the next set. Does that, now the big jump, he's doing quite well. This is not an easy obstacle, as we've already seen. Many have failed it, but Biotic_Soldiers has cleared it and is now onto the ring toss. He was on the very edge on the second handle already and didn't catch the third. That's unfortunate. Take your time. Next up is Reality is Awesome, who at this time was named V_Raikou. Or Raikou? Raikou. Reality is Awesome. That's easier to say. He's really taken his time on the 6 double steps, but he made it. You don't have to be fast if you're consistent, I guess. I said I wouldn't commentate this, didn't I? Yeah, I'm going through with this. Onto the dismount. He's taking a break, celebrating. He's happy, I guess. Now onto the beam flipper. Can the Reality is Awesome make the beam flipper? He's got the tough jump, the small gap there. He's doing well. I don't know what to say anymore. That was close. That was a close jump, but he has made it. He continues to move through the beam flipper. Is he going to clear it? Here comes the big jump. He does it, and the dismount, and he's cleared the beam flipper. We've got another one on the ring toss. People are starting to figure out the third obstacle. Maybe sometime we'll get people to do it fast, because then I don't have to figure out what to say. But he's moving at a good pace through this ring toss. He's now into the jump to the other side. He has made it. He's rushed the ring toss. Didn't jump in time. Next up is I'll call him Alex. Alex we're not going to talk about this character. He's already made it through the 6 double steps and is now onto the triple rolling boulder. You know what I said about this obstacle. You may put this in the top 5 of most scuffed commentaries to exist. Now onto the beam flipper. He's moving at a good pace and he's making it through. He's walked off, never mind. Alex has walked off the beam flipper, that's unfortunate. Next up is YVNQ_dev. Number 30, last person of this wave. After this we're going to see which of the last 10 people will move on. YVNQ_dev has made through the 6 double steps with an average pace of 10 seconds, like almost everyone. Now to the rolling boulder. Now to the beam flipper. We've seen Alex be pretty much the first person to do it at a good pace, but he walked off, and Dev almost did the same. He managed to save it. Is now to the 3rd set of beams. He's going through he's going through quite well. Will he be our next clear on the beam flipper? Yes, he will. Onto the ring toss. YVNQ_dev taking a break, taking a breather. You need that. Down to the ring toss. This is a tough obstacle. We've seen almost as many fail this as we've seen on the beam flipper. And he overshoots the jump. doesn't catch on to what's the ring doing? He couldn't catch on. Here's the list of people who have moved on. No one passing the ring toss in this wave. Unfortunate. Next up is Robotic Pie. Robotic Pie, I believe he ran season 1. If he did, he failed stage 1 camera. Thank you. Right, Robotic Pie onto the 6 double steps, has made it through at a good pace, not taking his time. Which I always love, because it means I have to commentate less. Moving through the rolling boulders. He's fast. Why can't everyone be this fast? Right, the rope, he dismounted, now into the beam flipper. Going right at it, jumping, getting the small gap. Many people have failed the beam flipper. Robotic Pie is looking very good to this point. Here comes the dismount, and he's made it through the beam flipper onto the ring toss with a really good time, just 50 seconds on the clock. Can he make it even further? He's jumping through the ring toss, he knows the strategy, he's looking good, he's going even faster, he must have practiced a lot for this. Now into the transition to the other side, he turns around, jumps, catches it, and he falls off. How did that happen? He tried to move back the ring and slid off. Next up is Juniper Steel. Onto the 6 double steps with cute bunny ears. Taking his time. The next competitor onto the beam flipper. I've got to win 1 second. Okay, I can see the video again. Great. He's already on the 2nd set. Now preparing to jump onto the 3rd. Looking good. He fails. What happened there? I think he accidentally walked along the beam. He walked against the beam instead of around it, which caused him to fail. Next one is Floor_Squid. Who is this? He's cleared the 6 double steps, I guess. Now onto the rolling boulder. His head is behind the timer, as basically everyone's head. See what happened there. He slipped off the 2nd boulder. That's interesting. Next up is X-Link VS. X-Link VS, X-Link versus X-Link VS. However you want to pronounce it. I'll just shorten it to Link. Link onto the rolling boulder, behind the timer of course. Because how else would it be? Get great cameraman. Absolutely great. He's moving at a good pace though, 21 seconds, now to the rope. The rope into the he almost overshoots the platform. That would have been interesting. Now he's into the beam flipper, still moving at a good pace. He's really doing well. He walks off. Oh no, that's unfortunate. How many times have I said unfortunate at this point? He was looking really good. He was going really fast. In the end, he failed. Next up is Kurumi. Kurumi running this on a mobile. Let's see. Just like we've got this title of last mobile player standing, hanging out once again, just like last season. Maybe Kurumi could be the one to get that. Maybe. We'll see about that. But the chances are there. She's moving through the triple rolling boulders. She's already made it. Now onto the beam flipper. With great speed indeed. That's incredible, doing quite well. Into the last set, the big jump has made it, that's the doorbell, 1 second. Alright, I'm back and Kurumi's on the ring toss. Yeah, ring toss, that's what it's called. She's struggling to get up there, but it's on the transition to the other side. Which she hasn't made it. That's good. She's struggling to get over. But she makes it. One more jump and the dismount, and she has made it. Third person to have made it past the beam flipper. The first mobile player to have made it past the beam flipper. Moving through the bouncing spider now. At a good pace actually. I think she's even the fastest at this point, but she slips off. She slips off the ledge. That's really unfortunate. Next up is Epic Oliver 318. He's very epic looking. Onto the 6 double steps. Just like so many before him. He has made it through at a good speed, which I appreciate as always. And is now onto the made it past the triple rolling boulder. This name is now a taboo because I don't want to commentate it. I'm moving through the beam flipper. Here comes the first big jump, makes it, lines up for the transition. He does that too. It's taking his time, which is good. We've seen people be successful by taking the time. It's now into the dismount. He dismounts. Which is, he's now to the ring toss. 1 minute on the clock. He's looking good. He's probably, not probably, he may be moving on. He's looking, he makes it, he rushes. He became overconfident, thought he could make it, thought he could go faster, and that ended up being his demise. Next up is Gamer1222B. Who fell another victim to the beam flipper. After that we saw iPlay Games 65, who also couldn't catch the jump. Kilian_Lamartinique, I think that's French. He made deep into the beam flipper but couldn't make it past. Next up, number 47, Mark Stick Luke. He fell another victim to the beam flipper. Ninja_Legend XX7 onto the beam flipper. So many people have failed this at this point, and Ninja is no exception. Voiceless Pikachu 911 is next. On the beam flipper he manages to catch the small gap but walks off in the end, which is another unfortunate one. We're already, ladies and gentlemen, onto the last run of this episode, number 50, V Darren. I don't think he ran season 1, so he's considered a newcomer. He's up onto the 6 double steps. He's not taking his time, he's going fast, I like that. V Darren onto the triple rolling boulder. What? That's the wrong direction, sir. There's only one direction. No other direction. And he dismounts. V Darren now into the beam flipper. A very slow time, obviously, because whatever there was, he went back on the rolling boulder. He might have forgotten to regenerate the obstacle. Didn't look if that's the case, it might have been the case. In that case, yeah, what are you supposed to do? Anyways, he's onto the ring toss. He's got a new technique which we haven't seen yet. He's slightly tilting the ring mid-jump. That may just assure him that he's catching on, so maybe it's a good strategy. Maybe. It seems to work out up until this point for Midoriyama. He's got the transition. He's moving upwards. Here comes the last handle. And he's through onto the bouncing spider. We've seen he's the fourth speaking is difficult. He's the fourth person on this obstacle. We've only saw the Blazing Alchemist make it past this obstacle up until this point. Midoriyama is looking good though, as he hits the 2-minute mark. Speed doesn't matter. He's guaranteed to move on already, as he's the last person in this wave and this episode. Now into the round things. He's spinning around, jumps over, makes it. Spinning makes this a lot trickier than it may look. It's really just wasting time, to be honest. Just like this entire course is pretty much a time waster course. He's made it. Oh no, it has decided to spin the other direction. Here comes Midoriyama onto the warp wall, and we may be about to see our second clear.
Check it out, I'm gonna light it up, yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out, I'm gonna light it up, yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out, I'm gonna light it up, yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about.
Now these are the last 5 competitors to have moved on in this episode, with Midoriyama being just the second clear in this qualifiers, and we're halfway through. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next episode for the second half of runs.